660 QAM.
Jeb Bush.
Commonly, as his pasty swelled up head, he became a governor and dictator too, simply by having more money than you. Billionaire, that is. Dirty Deal's ex-presidential dad. In a real gubernatorial race, the other goober's name was Buddy McKay. Had an ill-fitting suit and a skeletal head, and when they took his pulse, they discovered he was dead. Brain dead, that is. No brains, a backwoods rube. Now, Jeb represents the Christian Reich, but somehow got support from the Jewish journal kikes. Now they're all in a mass grave, buried very deep, and his wife wears a necklace of the fillings from their teeth. Jewish gold. Melted down, of course. The Tallahassee Millionaires. Starring Heinrich Himmler as Jeb Bush, Ava Braun as Columba, Ariana Huffington as Granny, and Dan Burton as General Burkhalter. The Tallahassee Millionaires, brought to you by Zygon 8.
I can't wait for that Jewish Journal article to come out. I think it's next week it's coming out, about Hitler was misunderstood as a youth. 26 before 11 at 560 WQM. So anyway, yesterday I go home from this joint after a just unbelievably depressing day, but then again lately they all been like that, so what's the big deal? And I called up, and of course, in the middle of the show again, we had our sales manager, Screw-Ann Winnick, who walks in here. And she's got a letter from the FFA, which is the Future Fisters of America, or whatever that stands for, the Florida Family Association, which used to be the American Family Association, but then they got kind of cut off, and they were like in bankruptcy, and then they finally got their few dozen members back together again, started sending out their newsletters full of crap. They're going to get Howard off the air, they're going to get Neil Rogers off the air, they're going to get everybody off the air. Have they gotten anybody off the air yet?
No.
They're going to get all the sponsors to cancel. So at any rate, over at the other station, since they were well used to dealing with this kind of stuff from the FFA and other people as well, there was rarely any state of panic. There was some concern. They sent out letters. And then, of course, we had announcements, which we used to run periodically, saying that all the material on broadcast on the radio station was copyright, and any unauthorized reproduction, etc., and dissemination of tapes was strictly prohibited by law, which stopped them from sending out these damn tapes, which they butcher up and they chop together and make it sound like this is a pornographic radio show, which it is not. These are those good Christians again over there in Tampa, David Caton and his crowd, the FFA, who have just taken it upon themselves to decide that they are the censors for the state of Florida, and maybe the entire country if they can get away with it. They're going to decide what you can listen to, what can be on the air, what can't be on the air, etc., and so on, like that good Christian lady that called a couple of weeks ago that tells me I'm going to be off the air by the end of the year. Hey, guess what, honey? Wrong. So at any rate, Screw-Ann comes in here, and she says she's got a copy of a transcript that they've sent out to some of our sponsors, which our sponsors all through the years on all the stations have always supplied us with copies of these things and say, we told them to go to hell or we threw in the wastebasket or whatever, and don't worry about it. Because most of our sponsors are local and they understand this show and they know exactly what this FFA is all about, where they're coming from. Screw-Ann Winnick, however, comes in here during a break in the middle of my very depressing show yesterday after I've already had to tolerate Gary Sarner and his unacceptable behavior. And she says to me, oh, well, what are we going to do? The sponsors are canceling left and right. That's a direct quote. We're getting cancellations left and right because the FFA, the Future... Oh, I got it backward. The Future Fisters of America, I almost did that screwed up, have been sending these letters out, out of context and getting everybody nervous about advertising on your show, which is a game that's been going on, let me say it again, for years. So needless to say, since it's only my livelihood that's at stake, and I'm starting to think to myself, well, maybe these people aren't competent. Maybe they aren't apt. You've heard of the word inept. Well, there must be the word apt. Maybe they aren't apt enough to combat and deal with this problem since they don't know nothing about it. Since the rest of the time they don't have very much controversial stuff on here, since it's a sports station. And it's okay for the jocks to go on and say all the words, and of course you've heard them all, and, it's a separate deal. Mandage can say... and these other guys can say whatever they want. That's okay. It's a sports deal. And it's not pornographic because those are macho sports guys, not some Jew atheist fag sitting on a radio being potty mouth. So I made a call yesterday to this radio station, which is quite an experience in itself. I make the call. Some guy answers the phone. I said, Greg Reed, please. He said, who's calling? I said, Neil Rogers. Okay, one moment, please. Puts me on hold. The next sound I hear is, hello. And immediately, as soon as I heard, hello, I knew it was the water Nazi. It was Phyllis upstairs. which I've already given you 10 months ago. I gave you the whole story about her. I don't deal with her. She don't deal with me, and we both like it that way.
Hello?
I said, yeah, I was waiting for Greg Reed.
Who is this?
I said, Neil.
Who?
Neil.
Oh. Give me your number.
So, of course, not expecting a return call, which I did get about 25 minutes later, which is very unusual for Greg Reed. Not expecting a return call since we usually play cat and mouse, and he likes to play the avoidance game. I called Screw Ann Winnick, our sales manager, to find out what the hell the real story was. Are we really getting cancellations left and right? And I get her on the phone, and bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop, and maybe we ought to be sending... See, our salespeople, even as inept as many of them are, have been bringing us copies of those letters and all this crap from the FFA, the Future Fist of America, for a month now. And I assumed that if the sales manager wanted to do something in response, like, like IOD used to do, send a general letter out to the agencies and all of our sponsors to let them know what this is all about, and attempted censorship and total distortion of what this show is all about, sending a letter out. I thought that maybe they might have already done this, but now just at this point, since Screw Ann says, we're getting cancellations left and right, the sky is falling, says Screw Ann. Even though you hear all of these spots on this radio station, including this show, I mean just spot after spot after spot. The spots never end on this station. For example, you've heard some of the disclaimers about the other Toyota dealers. They turn the volume way up when they tell you the price. What are you looking at me for? We got another spot break to do here, baby. Of course, the conversation with Screw Ann Winnick, our sales manager, is like, when you talk to her, it's like somebody who's saying goodbye before you finish saying hello. Hey, how you doing? Okay, see you later. That's always the conversation, including the one on the telephone. So about 10, 15 minutes later, my phone rings, and there's Greg Reed returning my call.
Oh, my God.
Oh. That's right, there he was. Must have gotten the message from the water Nazi upstairs. Why do I call Phyllis the water Nazi? Because we have some, we're on 2 different floors here while this construction is being finished, which has only taken about 3 years. And so some of our salespeople down here have, like little plastic drinking cups, and while they're sitting in there on the phone talking to their clients, doing whatever they're doing, they like to have a little something to, wet their whistle. A little water.
Water in Florida?
Water in Florida. What a concept. And so every time they go to get water, they have to go upstairs on the 3rd floor, and we have jugs. Can I say jugs? Some of the people upstairs got jugs. Oh. No, not her. And, of water, which I guess the company must pay for big bucks.
Loan me $50.
Yeah, I don't think so. And the new deal, the deal all along has been that if any of our people go upstairs and take more than a thimbleful at a time of water, the water Nazi... Oh. Yeah, that one. She's like carrying on like it's coming out of her wallet, coming out of her paycheck. Bitching people out. Isn't that what I ranted and raved back in January about that scene out in the parking lot here with her and Gary Sarner, which was a match made in heaven, by the way? If had I known what I know now, maybe I wouldn't have even been impressed by it. I would have just ignored it. Because they deserve each other. It's a match made in purgatory. The water Nazi.
Oh, don't take more than that.
This is major market radio. This is a company that is supposed to be making money and a major impact here. This is your Dolphin station. This is the Neil Rogers station. This is the Hank Goldberg station. This is your big highfalutin AM radio station that even a little bit of water you take up there and you have to put up with a bunch of crap, a bunch of abuse and crap from the water Nazi.
Don't take any more. Things are getting really tight around here. You bastard.
So anyway, Greg Reed returns my call, and I mentioned to him the conversation I had with Screw Ann, our sales manager. He said, that's not true. We have 1 cancellation. And I already knew about that cancellation, and I'll tell you what the cancellation was, by the way. I'll tell you right up front. It was not a local or a regional account. It's an account that I didn't want to do in the first place, that John Penis, one of our salespeople, just decided that I was going to endorse live without asking me first. The Video Professor, which I felt I had very ambivalent feelings about, because it's one of those deals where they do give you something basically for free in the beginning, and then they start, they keep bugging you to buy a bunch of more stuff. I knew what it was, and I was like medium to disenchanted about doing it, but, once it was already on there wasn't much I could say about it. So they canceled because they got a letter from the FFA, the Florida Fist Association, or whatever the hell that stands for. Yeah, they got their fist in each other's rectum. That's what they're doing over there in Tampa. And so Greg Reed tells me that that's a total, absolute effing lie. That we haven't had a whole bunch of cancellations and the sky is not falling. And I come in this morning, I said, we got so many spots. If we had calls, which we don't have any, but if we did have, we wouldn't have time for them anyway. Because it's all spots radio. We are completely, totally sold out on this show. every avail. So anybody out there who thinks that the Neil Rogers show is going off because a bunch of putwhackers over in Tampa are sending a bunch of twisted, distorted, hateful letters out to all our sponsors, you're dreaming. It ain't going to happen, sweetheart. All you people that are monitoring now and sitting down there wasting valuable time that you could be using helping somebody who's like dying in a hospital or helping homeless people or whatever that you might be doing, something constructive, which would be the good Christian thing to be doing. But instead of that, they're out there monitoring, and they're writing down in longhand, and they're embellishing, and because this is and why is that? Why do we have this Christian thing in America? Because Christian in America, including the Republican Party, which has been taken over by a bunch of lunatic right-wing Christians, that stands for censorship. That's what the C in Christian stands for, censorship and control. We will control you. We'll tell you what you can say. We'll tell you who can be on the air. And if they're to the left of Lord Ass Limbaugh or Attila the Hun, you can't be on there. And you can't be saying those things. And certainly not saying those goddamn words. You just can't do that. Because we decided. That's why. I mean, forget about the First Amendment. Forget about the FCC. Forget about anything. Because we just decided we're pissed off. Rather than finding something else to do, we have decided that you can't be on the air, Howard can't be on the air, nobody else can be on the air unless we give our stamp of approval. And we're just going to try to terrorize and bully you off the air. Well, it ain't going to work. It absolutely, positively is not going to work. And if I have to come in here and play music every goddamn day for the next 4 years, guess what? I'll do it. Because as happens every single time that we're up against it, this is never one thing that you can bet your life on in this town. Every time you're up against it, every time there are people trying to get you off the air and you need support, this is what we get. Look at the phone. That's what you get. We've had 3 weeks of coma here, no matter what it is. And I'm not going to waste my time today talking about Mike Tyson or Lawrence Taylor or about how good the Leafs looked last night and how good the Nashville Predators and how much I didn't see on Larry King last night about how another photographer supposedly sneaked in the house and the photographer did it, which is the newest spin they're trying to put on the thing, to try to say Mommy and Daddy certainly couldn't have done it because the photographer sneaked into the house. I've got 80 million things. I could talk about that Mary Kay, what the hell's her name? Letourneau, over there in Washington State, that's having her second baby by this 15 or 16-year-old kid who looks like he just landed on the spaceship. They had that story on last night. Where in God's name did she find this creature? This skinhead, this freak of nature? Well, I think it's a match made in heaven. And, of course, the best part is, like I've always told you, they're reproducing. Oh! That's the good news. And he's over in Paris now, the 16 or 15-year-old father of these 2 illegitimate kids, who was doing his school teacher, who just can't stop getting enough. He's over in Paris with his lawyer, and they're writing a book. They're making a book deal in Paris. Oh! All right. Because you know something?
That's the American fucking way.
Amen, baby. You got it. Just like Monica with her book deals and her movie deals. She couldn't afford enough to go to the laundry with that dress. She couldn't go to the dry cleaner to get the dress cleaned. But now all of a sudden there's millions coming all over the place for Monica's story. Maybe she might even show us evidence of her presidential knee pads. Maybe we could see those too. So here we are. And by the way, last night they had a great piece on NBC about why most people on campus, most kids die on campus. You know the cause of 95% of deaths on campus?
Binge drinking.
Booze, that's right. Booze. Not drugs, not marijuana. Booze. 90% of rapes on campus connected with booze. There you go. Are we going to go back to prohibition?
No.
Did it work in the first time?
No.
No. But boy, you get caught with a few marijuana plants, baby. Reefer madness, that's what it's all about. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget that, Manny Lesherman. Anybody else out there that's a hypocrite, phony, goody two-shoes about this issue, which should be a non-issue in a country that's civilized and advanced and beyond the kindergarten age? That's about the maturity level of our government in this country, like right about kindergarten, I would say. Kind of like the people around here. So, San the Sham, let me just say this to you, and this goes for several of the people in this building, okay? I'll show up here every goddamn day and take that paycheck every 2 weeks. Whether we have any calls, no calls, any ratings, no ratings, I'll continue showing up. If you want to write me a check, see, this isn't my doing. It's not like some kind of plot that I've been doing. I've been showing up here every day for 10 months, doing the best I can. Highest ratings on the station, highest spot rate on the station, sold out 16 minutes an hour, even though we agreed to 14, nevertheless. So I'll continue showing up here every day. But some of you people in here, don't even waste your time crossing my path. I don't have time in my life for liars, BS artists. I don't deal with that. Because like I've told you a million times, when you get to be my age and you've, paid your dues, you take as little as possible. That's right. That's part of my motto. Do no harm is number one, but take no,
Crap.
That's number two. That's like not too far down the list. That's right under DNH is TNC. Take no,
Crap.
Right. And don't deal with assholes. Don't deal with people who like everything you try to do. And this Center One thing, and I'm sure that there are people around here, including people in the audience, oh, Center One, that's with people with AIDS, that's a fag thing. I hate to break the news to you. Center One helps women, helps children, helps straight people, gay people, bisexual people. AIDS doesn't discriminate. There are more heterosexual people getting AIDS now than homosexual people, but don't confuse anybody with the facts. It's not a gay organization. It's an organization that helps people who are desperate with medication, whatever they need, and it's an organization that's a damn good one and does a lot of great work. And even if it weren't a good organization, it's still tax deductible. It's a charitable donation, and we got great stuff there on OCDs. So Sam the Sham, maybe it's a big joke to you, since I still haven't received $1 from anybody in this radio station for Center One, not a penny. I realize we still have 2 months and 10 days to go, not a dime. And I remember back in the days when Camillus House was our charity. Remember that till they got too uppity for us? They didn't want those dolphin posters because, we got a poster with 3 of the Dolphins. I forget who they were. I think Mark Clayton was one of them. And the Dolphins did this because we were the Dolphin station at IOD. And number 2, they wanted to help with our fundraiser for the Camillus House. And so 3 of the players got dressed up in cowboy uniforms. They got on horses with shotguns. Remember that? And they made a poster. It was a beautiful thing. And we were, selling those for $20 or whatever it was to raise more money for Camillus House. And Camillus House refused to allow us to sell those because they felt that the message was these are 3 black guys and that black people are criminals, that they're thugs, they have guns.
It came out at the same time as that Posse movie, the all-black cowboy movie. So
right.
It was a play on that.
Oh, yeah, well, right. That was the message. But the message that they got was, all black people are criminals and they all got guns and they're dangerous and therefore we don't want to be associated with it. But back in the days when we did Camillus House and raised probably over $1 million for them, I would say easy, for many, many years. Back in those days, the mail, remember all the mail that used to come in every day? Tons of envelopes of mail. I'm not talking about people who were buying CDs or cassettes or want anything in return. Donations, $100 here, $50 there. That was for Camillus House, for the homeless. And believe me, I still feel very strongly about the homeless. I'm very sorry that Camillus House didn't feel strongly about us, that they're too good to take our money, those good Catholics over there at the center at the Camillus House. But since we changed the charity that we raise money and do this fundraiser for every year, since it became Center One, do we get one of those checks?
No.
Do we get any mail with checks in the
No.
In the envelope? No. All of those good, wonderful people that were helping us with their charitable donations, all of a sudden, they can't afford a dime. They can't spare no change. And that's very sad. So I'm going to continue doing my fundraiser and do the best I can and show up at those appearances, which I donate my time. I don't take a penny for those deals. And hope, like I said, hope to do the best. But believe me, not expecting any assistance or any cooperation from in here. Is Screwan working on that Borders thing so we can get any up-to-date numbers?
No.
Is Sam the Sham doing anything besides making a joke out of this with this plastic stupid thing here, with this $300,000 total?
No.
No. And I'll continue going on the record and exposing this place for exactly what it is until they start doing things like a goddamn... During one of the breaks, he was down here and I was reading him the riot act. He looked at me like somebody had just shot him in the brain, if we could find one. And George said, he doesn't speak that language. He doesn't understand what you're saying to him. He's never heard these things before. And I said, oh. 10:57 at 5.
The Neil Rogers Show.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
The following is a paid public service announcement from the International Rifle Association.
Let's face it, most of us will never be rich. Hell, we probably won't even be successful, and that's pretty damn depressing. But, as usual, with every problem, there is a solution. Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm here to tell you a little something about handguns. They scare the out of people and intimidate them into giving you whatever you want. That's right, handguns. Think about it. Need some cash? Rob a bank. Don't have enough money for beer? Pull up a convenience store. Take some chips and pretzels while you're at it. It's all free if you've got a handgun. Some son of a bitch cheating on your girlfriend? Kill him. It's a simple solution to life's complex problems. All you have to do is wait the 5 days for it, and happiness is just around the corner. Hell, if you don't want to wait the 5 days, who cares? Buy the damn thing off the street. Just buy a lot of handguns. It's a great alternative to working problems out and can be considered a population controller. Yes, handguns. They just might make you famous.
11:03 at 560 WQM. We got Hank at 2 o'clock today. I haven't looked at that schedule. We got anything special going on today that I don't know about? Any ball games? Oh, that's right, the World Series. Have we got the World Series tonight? 8 o'clock, the Yankees and the Padres, Game 3, as the Yankees will close it out in 2 more. Lawrence Taylor, who battled drug addiction for more than a decade, was charged Monday with possession of crack after buying some from an undercover police officer. Here we go again. As much as cocaine is a horrendous substance, here we go one more time with that drug thing. Good old LT, as they fondly call him, because every jock has got to have a nickname to endear him to everybody. On the other hand, he's, we're doing him all over the place because he can't break his crack cocaine habit. But on the other hand, here's Mike Tyson, who raped a woman and was, in the slammer for it. For how many years? He was in there not long enough. And tried to bite the Evander Holyfield's ear off out there in Vegas. But you see, what the Tyson thing is all about is one thing. Money. That's all it's all about. Vegas has fallen on hard times, which I told you last week, which is very unusual for there, but the Asian economy has been in the crapper. The U.S. economy, everybody's been real nervous, so the discretionary dollars, the people that want to plunge their brains out and go gamble like crazy like we used to, not so many anymore. Plus the competition from California, the Indian reservations, and coming from Mexico, they're surrounded on all sides, Biloxi, you name it. So Vegas has got tremendous competition, and even though they had grotesque things take place at the MGM Grand, they had bottle throwing and people getting beat up and all kinds of ugly stuff, which ordinarily you never see in Vegas. That's the last thing that they want you to see. So even in spite of that, the fact is that they know that they can put this goon back in the ring fighting a chimpanzee, if that's who it has to be, and still make a fortune, make millions of dollars. That's what it's all about. And wasn't it heartwarming to see him surrounded by... There was Magic, okay? Magic's got a lot of time. His TV show was off. And there was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali should tell you everything about boxing and how barbaric and stupid it is. Just look at him. He's sitting there with his wife making a statement. Of course, he can't read the statement because he's sitting there shaking with his Parkinson's disease, and he's just looking off into space like a dead man in a suit. And his wife reads the statement. And, of course, there's Mike Tyson saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I thought to myself, say it again a couple more times. So sorry. You have no idea. Please don't torture me no more. And they said, okay. Okay, where's the money, sweetheart? So that's what that's all about. Okay, let's get to this plethora of call that we got on the board now. 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let's see if we got some live wires out there today. You think so?
No.
Here's a mobile in Delray Beach. Hello.
Forgive me, God, for I have sinned.
Yeah.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay.
Hey, it all goes back to your DNH thing, And if people would just understand that, but the problem is people don't understand that. So I don't know.
Why is it so hard to understand? What's so difficult about that?
But see, I understand it.
Why can't people leave everybody else alone? And if you want to listen to something that's different or watch something that's different, as long as you're not harming anybody, what the hell is it anybody's business?
Well, I
just
can
like
understand it.
Yeah.
See, I understand it. It's the other people that just don't understand it. They got to come up. It's just like you said with the TV thing with Channel 4 and the gay people, and they show the flamers.
The mincing, flaming stereotypes, right?
No, it's ridiculous, man. I wish, you probably wouldn't like it, but I wish I was your neighbor because, man, we get along great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother you. You wouldn't bother me. Hey, you need some milk? I'll let you borrow some. No big deal.
I don't drink milk. Sorry.
Oh, well, neither do I. But hey, we could find some together. But anyways, that thing. I remember when you were on the other station. Oh, that station I hate. And you used to get on and you would open up letters and you would go, here's one for 50, here's 100.
Oh, yeah, we used to, and something, I went through that whole song and the dance just now. I got one other call on the board, and we're picked up right where we left off yesterday. These people have got nothing to say, assuming there might be anybody listening out there, and there must be somebody listening because everywhere I go to Publix, I'm out there driving on a highway, people are high-fiving, they're waving, they're this, they're that. So they're out there listening, but the cat's got their tongue on any of this stuff. They've got nothing to say about it.
Yeah, but,
we've gone into a whole new phase in Miami talk radio, and the fact is that it's vanished. It doesn't exist anymore. It's strictly one-way talk.
I don't know what happened, but I know for days and months when you kicked up the campaign, every day you had piles of envelopes.
Every week there were thousands of dollars coming in for Camillus House. Every week.
Not only that, you would say, thank you, Jennifer, because Jennifer would come in and give you something, or this person, or that person, and I don't hear any of that crap over there. They're cheap.
Well, you don't hear it because nobody here, other than Ron from our Whammy staff, and I think he's a great guy, other than Ron, I haven't gotten a dime from anybody. Not one penny from the QAM staff, from the management, from anybody that works on this radio station. And like I've said before, I'm the enemy. I'm not the sports guy. I'm not the jock. So I'm not part of this, as George calls it, the sports bar with a microphone. I'm not part of that deal.
Yeah, it's like the guy from Naples that called in yesterday. Oh, did you hear the Phil CD? Hey, man, get a life, you know? I mean, Phil's been gone, but Phil's great. Phil's not here.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was thinking about this last night on my terminal depression about this place. You know, Phil's a great friend of mine. He's a great guy. He's a tremendous talent. He's very funny. But you know something? We raised $20,000 for Phil's charity out there in Los Angeles, and very enthusiastically so. But now that we come to October, November, and December, which are the 3 months I'm trying to raise money for a charity here in town, I'm getting people, oh, gee, well, you know, Phil's got a new CD out. Great. Well, good luck to him. Maybe next spring we'll, you know, peddle some of those and raise some money for Phil. But in the meantime, we're trying to do our own thing. It's like the bitch that called me a couple of, oh, how come Prison Bitch? We went out and bought your CDs. How come Prison Bitch isn't on there?
Oh, yeah, I heard that one,
too. See, I no longer can satisfy these people. And you know something what reminds me? When I was off the air for 7 months, these people were psychotic. They couldn't live without me. But now, after 10 months, well, he's old hat. Now they've decided they want Phil back. You know something? If Phil were to come back tomorrow, which he's never going to come back to this horse and buggy town, but if he were, after a few months, they'd say, well, you know, we've heard Margaret enough. We've heard this. We want something new. We want a new play toy, like a bunch of little kids who want a new play toy every day.
Same old crap. And, you know, I don't play a lick of golf. But I helped Phil. I volunteered to help his when he did the Jimmy Rice thing, just to go out and help. You know, I mean, it's just a helping hand that keeps this place going. But everybody wants to close their hand. I don't understand it.
And then
Neil, I love you.
Stick it in your rectum. Okay, have a great day, Phil.
You're the best.
Okay.
QAL.
You're being very difficult with me this morning.
Spike. And you know, when I'm driving down Route 9W on a hot summer day, me and the missus always stop at Dickens Fruit Stand. They've got everything from fruit to vegetables, homemade pies, but there is nothing like their cider. Ain't that right, honey? Uh-huh. Dickens cider. Yes, sirree. Why, even though we were late for church last Sunday, she had to have a little Dickens cider. Uh-huh. She says there ain't nothing like it. Even my minister says his wife enjoys a little Dickens cider now and then. Hey, why don't you bring some home in our protective plastic rib bottle? That way it'll stay fresh. Or you can let it sit a while and have some hard Dickens cider. It's good at lunch, good at dinner, and there's nothing like waking up with a Dickens cider. Dickens Fruit Stand, just off Route 9W and Country Road 69. Open 24 hours, because after a chilly summer night, I like to snuggle up in bed with a hot Dickens cider.
11:15 at 560 WQM. Thank God for that small dish, by the way. God almighty, was that a great game between Nashville, of all teams, the Predators and the Maple Leafs last night? Woo! God, a 2-2 tie, but what a great game. Back and forth and up and down and nonstop action and great goaltending. It was tremendous. And then I watched, you know, in between parts of that New England Jets game. I mean, poorly played, poorly officiated. The first Jets touchdown, if they still had replay, clearly not a touchdown, a fumble before he reached the goal line. But, you know, just a really mediocre effort. And the NFL's in big trouble. The numbers of the ratings are way down Monday night. They're way down on the weekend. And for good reason, because they're putting a crappy product out there. But don't confuse some of these people like the guy who called yesterday. Oh, he had a great time, and give credit where credit is due. Yeah, okay. We have an open line in Broward, 2 and Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a payphone in Pompano. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Neil. How are you doing today?
Okay, sir.
Okay, I might have
our usual scintillating start, yes.
You, and I don't know if you get the USA Today.
No, I don't.
Okay, on the front page, there's a new book out, Pros and Cons, the Criminals Who Play in the NFL.
Yeah.
A new book charges that more than 20% of pro football players are criminals whose past deeds are often ignored or rationalized by their teams in the NFL. And this guy called through some statistics or whatever, and just real quickly, their sample group had been arrested a combined 264 times, murdered 2 times, raped 7 times, domestic violence 45 times.
Suck my dick.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, you know, it's just like what they're saying, get the kids to root for, watch out who they're rooting for, who's in that jersey.
Yeah, but see, the adults, though, they don't care about that stuff. As long as the player, it's like when they brought Lawrence Phillips in here, who was nothing but a piece of walking turd. And people were saying, oh, well, Jimmy knows what he's doing, boy, and if he can run, if he can help us with that running game. And then, of course, Lawrence Phillips couldn't even make it to the start of the season before he got cut with another contretemps over there in Plantation. But most of the fans don't care. If they can help us win, and then we feel better about ourselves, we're part of a winner, they don't care about that stuff. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yep, so true. And you got another person for your DNH, Neil.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thanks for the good news. Okay, we're off to a sizzling start here, baby. We have 2 open lines in Dade, 2 in Broward. Any interest out there today?
No.
Is today the day that they're going to wake up and get off their dead ass?
No.
If they got anything to say about Lawrence Taylor, about Mike Tyson, about anything, about the small dish,
No.
about the Leafs game last night,
No.
about the people that work in this joint,
No.
about anything, about our Center One campaign?
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This is scary. These last 3 weeks. I mean, it's because it's the law of diminishing return. Each day, instead of getting better, Friday, I'm a schmuck. It never dawned on me because once the weekend is, rolls around, I forget everything that happened before, thank God. The only reason we had Response Friday, we gave a lot of crap away. Remember that? We gave a whole bunch of crap. We had those MTS Florida cards, and we had Dolphin tickets, and we had Matador tickets, which one guy did thank me. The guy that went to the Dolphin game called and thanked us, and then the guy thanked us for not giving him the Dolphin tickets, which was very appropriate. And then one of the people that got the Matador tickets. Other than that, even those people have got nothing to say. So that's the only reason we had a response here on Friday. Scary. Open line in Dade and 2 in Broward. 567. I'm going to keep giving the numbers out till we get every line lit up, till we motivate some of these assholes to get off their ass and go to the phone. Because I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself every day for 4 hours. Life is too short. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. You got that music in there? I'll wait. I could be doing a show in Forest Lawn Cemetery the last 3 weeks and have a greater response than I'm getting out of this. Okay, kill it. Kill that music. I can't stand it. Here's a lady mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I just wanted you to know there's still people alive in Dade County. I'm listening to you now. We listen to you every day in the car, and we watch you at night on TV.
Yeah. Well, thank God for you.
We love you.
Yeah, I can see that these last 3 weeks. Thank you, sweetheart. Have a great life. I can see that. We love you. We just don't have anything to say. We have nothing to say about anything. Open line in Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This is the part of the take generation. If you got something for us, if not, we don't have time for you. We'll sit back and listen. We're listening every day, but we're not going to talk to you unless you have something to give us. Like those guys yesterday. Can I suck around for... No. Go suck somebody else, okay? Send a picture first, then I'll let you know if you can suck. But no way. Can I suck around for this? No. Say something. Talk. Have an opinion. Say something. Say something outrageous. Be a jackass, but say something. You go, and any time I go away for the weekend, I go away on these trips. I've told you this a million times before. You get in the elevator. There are people on there, people you've never seen before. You'll never see them again. Good morning. How you doing? Here, you have to beg and plead and blackmail people. Hey, I got naked pictures of you. Will you call now?
No.
I still won't talk to you. How about $50? Is that enough? It's like when we had this stuff yesterday that Gary Sarner pawned off. And, beverages and more. Everybody drinks soda. A lot of people drink beer. $25 isn't a slap in a puss. Oh, that's not good enough. No, seriously, that's what you saw the response to that. It's like, oh, we don't care about that. That's not enough to make us call. How about 100? It's like the people that talk to you after I put them on hold. I give them something. Oh, don't you have something better than that? These people are all... No wonder this town is what it is. It's a self-perpetuating thing. As they get older, they become the early bird crowd. They're the ones that are stealing the sweet and low and the pickles online, waiting on the Rascal House on the day of the opening for the free food, and then come back at dinner time for more free food. Yeah, they go home, take several hours in their case. That's right. Oh, yeah. They're sitting and squeezing, and then they come back, and it's dinner time. Before you know it, they're back online again, stealing more crap. Here's a mobile in the Gables. Hello.
Top of the morning to you, Neil.
Yes, sir.
A sales hole for one of your, from the water company that you have, or that you used to have, well, you still have it down there. But I went down there about 2 weeks ago and spoke to, and I didn't know that you had called her the water Nazi at the time.
Oh.
And I can understand why. What I wanted to do was get a filtration system put in there with a nice cooler that everybody could have as much water as they want, and they pay one low monthly price.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're dreaming.
Well, yeah, and on my follow-up call to the water Nazi, who I just found out that she has been crowned that dubious title, she gave me this. We're currently satisfied with what we got. We don't need you to talk to you.
And we're not going to spend any more money so these bastards can get free water.
It would have made her a hero because I was actually saving the company money.
Right.
I was going to save the station money by putting in a few coolers hooked up to one central filtration system. It would have been the same thing as bottled water. You would have been making it there the exact same damn way that we make bottled water at our company, except without the bottle.
Yeah.
And you would have had no delivery, no anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a reverse osmosis underneath sink, except with coolers at your disposal.
Uh-huh.
Same damn thing as bottled water coolers, but with no bottle on it.
Right, I understand.
And, so, because we're happy with what we're spending here, and yada, 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 and, your mother sucks rocks and all this
Right, that's
stuff.
right.
And,
Your mother eats rocks in purgatory, right?
I'd like to be a sales hole for your station. I think I could probably bring in more than what you guys are bringing in.
Guaranteed. You're hired, pal. Call up Screw Ann. She'll ruin your life.
Oh, okay.
Okay, have a great day. Good luck.
You too, Neil.
See ya. Okay, we'll see ya. Oh.
We have an open line in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. By the way, I want to go on record as saying, even though it's not my immediate concern, I have other concerns with these people, but if George doesn't have his bonus in his hand by next Monday, I'm going to take several days off sick. That's right. It's the 20th of October. We're coming to the end of October. Let's see, March to April to May to June, July, August, September. 7 effing months, okay? And these people think it's a joke? That we'll give you money that we owe you, that we've promised you, that you've earned whenever the hell we get around to it? See, yesterday I beat up on myself, and I went home and I started thinking, what am I making myself sick for? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing a hell of a show here. I talked to people, I said, yeah, you're kicking ass. You're not getting any response there, but you're kicking ass. You sound great. And you know something? I agree. I'm doing my goddamn thing here. It's not like they're doing me some kind of a favor here, like I'm leasing this joint, like those brokerage stations, like I'm coming on hands and knees begging to buy some airtime to get on the air. I'm making these people a goddamn fortune, and do they have any understanding or respect for what we're doing in here?
No.
None. None. That I got the general manager who comes down this morning a second time, that we're now having another meeting Friday with my lawyer, who announced to me after Bluff Lindsay calls up George, we got two affirmations on this now, that they're going to back off the last break on the morning show, so I don't have to follow 8, 9, and 10 minutes of commercials why don't they just put an announcement on there saying, turn it off now because we got 9 minutes of spots coming on. Who the hell ever heard of such a thing? And what kind of bumforks have we got there working on that morning show? I mean, I guess it's fine if you're lazy. You got to get up early in the morning, so maybe that compensates for it. You know, fine. I wouldn't mind getting up out of here every day at 10 minutes to 2. That would get me home 10 minutes earlier. Would I do it?
No.
No, of course not. Would I do that to Hank?
No.
Not a chance in a million that I'd back up all the spots against the back of the hour. So now because I threatened to walk out and scream, see, you shouldn't have to scream and yell and holler to get people to cooperate when you're doing a good job for them. You should work with people who want to get things done, who want to help you to do your job. Which you're making, I'll guarantee you, I'm making more money than they're ever going to pay me. One hell of a lot more. Here's Kendall.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I only found you.
What do you mean by that?
I lost you for 2 years. I moved away, and then when I came back, I left the idiot station, and I couldn't find you.
You finally found me? Well, haven't you seen all of our billboards and all our promotion out there?
I told you. I just moved over here about...
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen them because we don't have any.
You're not going to believe where I lived, either.
Where?
Orlando, Florida.
Oh, God.
Guess who I worked for? Guess.
I'm listening.
The Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so what's the show you have at night? I'm trying to find you. I can never find you.
You don't want to see that. Forget about that thing. That's going off anyway.
What the hell's Channel 32?
What?
What the hell's Channel 32?
What do you mean by that?
I don't get Channel 32 down here.
It's on Channel 69. I have no idea what it's on your cable, but it's on Channel 69, and welcome back. Maybe he wants to go back to Orlando. 2 open lines in Dade, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
We're dying over here, and you're killing us.
Meaning what?
Oh, man, you're getting terrible out there. Just complaining.
So what are you listening for?
Because I like you.
Okay, thank you. Well, at least he's honest. What's wrong with that? I'm not complaining. I'm telling him like it is. This isn't complaint. This is real life in Miami, baby. This is the Bushes. This is the Bush League place. And this is the epitome of it. This is the ultimate right here. A bunch of pretenders. 2 open lines in Dade. Let's get those Dade lines sizzling. Let's get some people in Dade County today who are behind us, who have got something to say, who aren't a bunch of dictatorial assholes that want to get everybody off the air because they don't like what they're saying. I'm not complaining. I'm trying to motivate these goddamn bastards and bring the goddamn audience back on his goddamn phone here for once in their lives. It's Tuesday in a city that's as boring as 400 pounds of cow, okay? Tuesday. Don't give me a song and a dance. You got a full, rich life and a busy agenda right now, okay? And look at that. As I'm talking, it's nothing. Nothing. In Dade County. Dead as a goddamn doornail. Nothing but a bunch of banana boat people riding around on cars with bald tires and no brakes and no headlights. That's what we got. And for some reason, down in Kendall, that's where we're selling our CDs at the Kendall Border Store. I don't understand that. I mean, the one guy we had from Kendall a minute ago, he just came back from Orlando. He can't find his,
rectum.
Exactly. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. There you go. There are those two lines in Dade County. I'm not doing a break. I'm not moving until every goddamn one of them has got some living and breathing person on them. That's how pissed off and fired up I am this morning. And disgusted that after almost 23 years of busting my balls in this town to entertain people, to get people pissed off, to get them worked up to a frenzy, to amuse them, whatever the hell it is we do, that not only do I have to fight the people internally here, but I got to work 400 times as hard to get anybody to say, crap, that's right. Even to take you got it. 28 after 11. I think Castro's got that damn woodpecker going, you know what? He has a woodpecker. 28.
All right, now, when are you guys going to start talking about sports?
Meaning what?
Meaning that, I know you guys got to do what you got to do. You're complaining about.
What do you mean, you guys? What does that mean? What guys? Me and my parakeet?
You and whatever. It's what I'm talking about is, trying to just listen to sports in the day instead of here complaining all the time.
Then what do you listen? I'm on here every day between 10 and 2, and I discuss very little sports. So how long have you been listening?
Since 81.
Since 81. Since 81. 17 years you've been listening, and when am I going to start talking about sports? Did I talk about sports in 81?
Well, I don't remember
Sir, let me ask you, did I talk about sports in 91? Do you remember that far back? How about 95?
You want to argue? You want to talk?
No, I'm asking you. I don't do a sports show, so what the hell does that mean?
It's all I'm saying is I'd rather listen to some, what's going on, with Florida State, what's going on with
I don't
Miami,
care about Florida State. I don't care about college sports. Grow up, pal, okay? Get a goddamn life. He's been listening to this show since 1981. There's our audience out there. There's what we got on this radio station. What's there about college sports? I couldn't give a flying crap less about college sports, okay, sir? And I'm not going to be talking about, if you want to hear about how the Gators suck all day long, turn on a morning show. They'll talk about that and play that silly song. And talk about the Gators all day. You got to grow up. Sometime in your life, pal, you got to grow up. Open line at Dade, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Like this guy's going to turn the show off. He can quote you chapter and verse everything I've said those 17 years. He's being real provocative there. When are you going to talk about college sports? Talk about the Hurricanes. Okay, whatever you say, pal, okay? Let's talk about the goddamn Hurricanes.
The hurricane f***ing blow.
Okay, what's the next subject? Open line in Dade County, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the... See, this is an excuse for material. That's an excuse for the fact that you got nothing to talk about anything, sir. Is it the excuse? When are you going? You're boring. You're bitching too much. Okay, fine. Go listen to Lardass. Go listen to Dr. Laura. She'll give you some therapy for your limp penis, okay? Which obviously you desperately need if you have to get turned on by a bunch of collegiate athletes. He probably wants to shower with those guys from FSU. Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Neil.
What do they look like? Yes, sir.
You sound like a gay guy who hasn't headed up.
Yeah, okay, great. Open line in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, man, I was watching your show last night, and I do watch your show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Well, watch fast, because it won't be there long.
Oh, man, I'd miss it, because I'm usually asleep at this time. But, hey, I wanted to talk to you about the pot thing, man. I'm pissed off about this whole pot thing, man. I'm dying for it to be legal. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I'm going to sell my house. I'm moving to Amsterdam.
Uh-huh.
Screw America.
Okay, I'll see you there. Okay. We have an open line in Broward, 567-0560, pound 5. I mean, there's not a Chinaman's chance in hell they're going to ever legalize marijuana. In fact, they're changing the laws, in California. Some of those joints that they had where they could get the people who needed medical marijuana. Now they're starting to, there was a court ruling yesterday that came down saying that they can close them down. People who are like in tremendous pain, people who have cancer, horrible diseases, who are in horrendous pain, have finally found therapy that relieves them of their pain. And does the government allow them to have their therapy? No, because the government is playing goody two-shoes. But in the meantime, the overwhelming majority, like the piece on NBC News said last night, of deaths on college campuses are not from drugs of any kind, but they're from booze. But I guarantee you, like I said before, we don't want to mess with the booze people because, God forbid, then all your sporting events would be off. Then how the hell would this station make it? How could we possibly stay on air with 20 if we had every day, if we had no sponsors? We have an open line in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, 22 till noon at QAM. If you're sure I'm going to tell, could be. Good night's sleep is what it's all about. Take a look what it's all about. Take a look at me, boy. I left here yesterday, wanted to blow somebody's brains out. Not mine. I'm not that desperate yet. Had a great night's sleep on a great mattress, which I bought from Dial Mattress 2 years ago. And today, man, I'm full of vinegar and whatever goes with it. That's right. So if you want to get a great night's sleep every night, get you a new mattress from Dial Mattress. It's the smart, easy, inexpensive way to get a great mattress. Just pick up the phone, one easy call, 1-800-MATTRES. You'll be sleeping in comfort tonight. That's right, tonight, because they deliver within a couple hours after you make the call. And they deliver all the way from Key West to Orlando, everywhere in between. They got Sealy Posturepedic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Serta Perfect Sleeper, all the top brands, and whatever kind of mattress you like, a real firm one, a soft one, in between one, they got it for you. And all deliveries on approval, by the way. If you're not 100% satisfied with the new mattress, the driver takes it back with no questions asked. So save up to 60% off what you'd pay for the same goods in your department or bedding store by making one easy, simple phone call. And if you mention the Neil Rogers Show, by the way, you get $50 off on the cost of that new mattress. Call them today. You'll be sleeping in serious comfort tonight and for years to come. Call 1-800-MATTRES.
This is 560 QAM.
We have an open line in Dave, 567 Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing today?
Okay, sir.
First, if I can, sir, I wanted to apologize to George because I had a mouthful of sandwich when he picked up the phone. Forgive me for being an asshole.
That's okay.
Neil, I just called to tell you, man, I love you, man. You bring laughter and joy to my day.
Yes?
Thank you, sir.
And God bless you. And enjoy your sandwich, and don't choke on it. Okay, we have an open line in Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Booze on campus, baby. And that's the American effing way, all right. And I've always said it's one of the reasons I don't go to football games. Probably the main reason I don't go, besides the fact that it's a hassle to get out of that joint, is who the hell wants to be at a sporting event where you pay through the nose, or even if you got free tickets like I get here, and sitting in the middle of a bunch of rowdy drunks. Oh, you knocked over my beer, man. Yeah, right. I'll never forget that one as long as I live. Fat Rich knocked over this guy's beer, and he was ready. This punk is ready for a brawl with poor old Fat Rich. That's like Raul Martinez getting ready to punch out Hank's lights over there at Hialeah Racetrack. That's the kind of macho guys we got in this town. Pathetic. Yeah, come on, let's have fun. And then, of course, they get all bent out of shape when they cut off the beer sales, before the fourth quarter or whatever. Whenever they cut it off at any sporting event. Oh, how come they're doing that to us? Maybe because you're supposed to drive home, asshole, and we don't want you killing too many people on the way back wherever you're going to go. Maybe 2 or 3 might not be too bad. We don't want you killing like a whole bunch of people. Like the guy that time leaving the Miami Arena from a hockey game who almost he did cut me off, nearly killed me in that van, calls in on the show the next day and apologizes to me and says, well, I was feeling no pain. Yeah, right. There's nothing wrong. And see, this is another thing. You go to Germany, you go to Amsterdam, you go all over Europe, and you see people sitting outside of the cafes and the pubs, and they're drinking their beer starting like 10 o'clock in the morning. You see any drunks?
No.
Never. Never. Maybe once in a blue moon. You see some old, deadbeat, poor soul. But other than that, you don't see people stay. And even with the drugs that they do, the marijuana and the hash that they do over there, that they don't enforce the laws. You never see people walking around stoned out of their minds, staggering. You don't see it. Certainly wouldn't see it here, would you? In fact, if you're out there on the road right now, look to your left, look to your right. You probably just saw it. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hello.
It's not even noon yet, and you saw it. Yes, sir.
First of all, I sent you greatest facts. You didn't even read it yet on the gerbils. You got to read it.
Yeah, okay, great. Stick it up your rectum. We have an open line in Broward, 56705. And right there, that was quick service. Totally incoherent. 10 minutes to noon, this guy's already in the bag. Here's a payphone in Miami. Hello.
Yes, hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have to bear with me. I'm on a payphone. I've been trying to get in touch with you for a while. I wanted to give you the address on the parking at the arena.
Yeah.
Get a jump on Thursday. The more people will be parking across the street once we find out how they get caught, they're caught in that traffic just to go in there pay, and plus to pay you $10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the real kicker. I mean, the charge $10 and $8 for season ticket holders, which I think is a major ripoff.
Okay, I'll see you there tomorrow night.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot.
Good luck to us.
Right.
By the way, we might be in luck because both of the starting goalies for the LA Kings are injured. Jamie Storr and Stefan Fissé, for all you frogs. And so they got to start some rookie kid goalie in goal tomorrow night. And the Kings have been playing pretty damn good last year and then again so far this season. But they got no real goalie for it tomorrow night. So we might just do it. Oh! I'm bringing my measuring tape there tomorrow to measure the seats. And Ray Whitney better look out, too, by the way. We have an open line in Dade, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We want to see if he measures up. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil, listen, if I disagree with you, I like you and everything. If I disagree with you, you going to hang up on me?
It all depends. And if you want to be obnoxious and abusive and attack
there you
me,
go. You don't give anybody a chance, man.
Well, let me say it again. What do you want to say?
Well, let me first say, when people call, they're a little bit, they're not used to being on the radio like yourself. You're professional. You're on every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you take a guy who gets on the phone in front of a bunch of people.
Well, what do you want to say? I mean, I don't want to
got a lot of stuff. I disagree with you a lot. I love you because you're a fellow human.
I'm listening. Let's hear it.
All right. Listen, do you have children?
Of course not. You mean you listen a lot to the show and you're asking me if a fag like me has children? Of course not.
Well, you're not relating, man. You're a great speaker. And
I'm not relating to what?
To the real people. You got people call you up and tell you how great you are, and you say something.
Isn't that what you just said? You just got through saying that 30 seconds ago.
I said I love you because you're a fellow human. And,
I see.
And that's it. I don't like you. I mean.
You don't like me. You love me, but you don't like me.
Right.
Uh-huh. Whatever that means. Okay.
You don't know what that means?
No.
You don't have any family members?
Yeah.
You love them.
So?
But you might not
agree
I don't like
with them
or like them on everything.
No, not agreeing doesn't mean you don't like them.
Well, it can mean it. They can hurt you, and they can.
So what is the
anyway?
point?
To hell with all that. Listen,
yeah, to hell with it.
What about solutions?
Solutions to what?
Truthfully, anytime I've ever heard your show, all you're doing is complaining like hell. I mean, cutting everybody. You never say anything nice about anybody.
I don't?
No.
Didn't I go over to the Miami with the Macarena when they showed it to me and tell everybody how beautiful it was? And then after the first game played, the next day I came in on Monday, and it wasn't me, it was the audience, that every single one of the people were bellyaching and had complaints? I think you may have it backwards.
Well,
I tell it exactly the way I see it. I call them as I see them. If somebody does a great job, I'll be the first one to tell you I think they're great. If somebody stinks the joint out, I'll tell you they stink. If whatever,
listen,
I tell it the way it is.
I don't know enough.
I live in the real world. I don't live in la-la land. Maybe you live in... And what does any of this have to do with whether I have children or not?
Because the way you talk, it's like, disregard to any drugs or anything or religion.
Well, when did I say that? When did I say disregard any drugs?
Because you said that people should be able to do whatever the hell they want to do.
I never have. I said as long as they don't harm anybody else, and I know as well as you do, and you know as well as I do. We don't have people ripping off convenience stores and doing armed robberies to buy... I'm responding to you. Do you want to have a conversation or do you want to make a speech?
No, but Neil, we listen to you all the time.
Do you want to make a speech or do you want to have a conversation?
I want to move on to the next subject.
No, why don't you let me respond because you've accused me of saying something that I never said.
You didn't let me finish.
And I won't. What an asshole. I respect you, but I don't like you. But get out of here. Blow it out your ass. Let me say it again. And you were on at least 2 minutes too long. I'll listen to what anybody has to say as long as they, number one, don't want to abuse me because I'm not taking any crap from anybody. And this guy you don't relate to the people, you don't have any children. What the hell has that got to do with anything? There are plenty of people out there that don't have children. There are plenty of people that got children that are long since adults and grown up and whatever else. But I don't relate to the real world because this guy's been around. I haven't been anywhere. I don't understand the real world. This guy's the expert. And as far as solutions, sir, this is a radio show. I don't have any solutions for anything. I can only try to make solutions for the immediate world around me here. And this morning, by blowing off steam, I made a solution to at least one problem that we had here, and I'm going to make solutions to some of the other problems we got. And if that's what I have to do, if I can't get response out of the people that I work for and work with any other way, then that's what I do, because I've done it for years, and that's the only thing that'll get them off their ass. So I can make solutions in my own little world, but this is a radio show. I'm not going to come on here like Mike Siegel used to do in this town, and up there in Seattle on KING radio. Oh, we're going to solve the problems of the medical profession. Well, that's bull crap. Nobody on the radio has ever come up with a solution for anything, okay, sir? It's a radio show. Read my frickin' lips. And I hope your children have a great life. Believe me, they'll need help. It's 11:57 at 560 WQA.
QAM. The Neil Rogers Show. Lauderdale.
Oh, God, Neil.
My dad knocked me off. He raped me when he tied me up. When I was young, when he ran me, I was killed by my daddy. Whoa, my dad knocked me off. I was his little queenie. It's not a media mystery. My mom's the one who knows. He beat me and beat me with the rubber hose and bashed my head, as you know. He's wealthy and owns most of Colorado, so they're gonna let him go. My dad knocked me off. He needed me to get it up, so he's the one who did it. You'll never hear him admit it. But my daddy knocked me off.
12:03 at 560 WQM. Did anybody see Larry King last night? See the, which I missed it. Didn't hear about it until after the fact. The fact that he had, evidently either John Ramsey himself was on there or a representative for the family with this cockeyed new theory that a photographer, a friend of the family, sneaked into the house while they were out at the Christmas party that night and was hiding in the basement waiting for them to come home. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think John Bonet, ran down to the basement with a roll of masking tape?
She did that all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But anyway, if anybody saw it, inquiring minds would like to hear about it. And then, of course, just recently, all the tabloids, they're showing that the handwriting experts are saying that the mother, your mama, she was the one that definitely wrote the ransom note. In addition to which, if the photographer who was a friend of the family wanted to kidnap her, how come he left the ransom note and then murdered her and sneaked out of the house? Huh. Here's North Miami. Hello. North Miami.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. Long-time listener and first-time caller. I'm
Okay.
really nervous, too. But I love you, man. And one of the highlights of my stay here in South Florida was meeting you at one of the Panthers games in the inaugural season.
Right.
It was great. You're a great guy. I wanted to respond to the last caller. I think that's a prime example of one of the main problems that we have here in the States with people that think like that, and especially when it comes to marijuana, or a number of issues, really.
Kids in my mouth, which I never said that, and then when I start explaining what I really am, say, oh, well, I don't want to talk about that. Let's move on to something else.
Yeah, and also, as far as you providing solutions for society, I think that's not really the purpose of shows like yours. And yours is one of the few shows that I think stimulates thought. I mean, our politicians, that's who we elect to do that, and you should stimulate thought for us to think, carefully about who we elect to.
I'm stimulating it right now.
Yeah. Well, also, actually, my original reason for calling was to, I'm a big lover of the Netherlands and the Dutch people. I think they're wonderful people.
Yep.
It's a wonderful culture, and for the last 2 or 3 years, I've spent every vacation I have in Amsterdam. And I just want to tell him a couple of things to do. Vondel Park is great. I don't know what the weather's going to be like when he's there, but to sit there and just have a beer, and there are going to definitely be a couple of groups that come by the cafe. It's an excellent thing to do in between whatever you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the Van Gogh Museum is great. And definitely get the cassette thing that tells you about all the paintings. It's a great thing to do, definitely. And if he's looking for the other stuff, there's a place called City Hall that's great. It's perfect, and there's the guy who's from Florida. There's a Florida license plate in there that owns this coffee shop, and it's one of the more less steam. I'll keep listening. I'm in and out of town a lot, so I've never had a chance to call, and I really wanted to. And today you're here forever. I know you won't be.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
See ya. We have an open line today. Yeah, you're saying that all those kids out there should be doing any and all drugs. People can do whatever they want to do. Is that what I said?
No.
No, but here's a guy that wants to make a speech. That other guy before the news. He went before the news. Did I say news? Before the top of the hour. Before the commercials. I'm sorry. 567, isn't it? I'm definitely. There's the evidence right there. Before the news on this radio station. Woo! Poor George. His luck. I go on vacation. He fills in for 1 week, and come Thursday, we have the hurricane here, and everybody's gone because nobody in their right mind would be tuned into a sports station that has no news department, that wouldn't know if a hurricane was going to blow the building down 30 seconds from now. That had people from Channel 10 that were supposed to be calling in that, maybe we'll get around to it, maybe we won't. Nice going, Duff. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello. Mobile in Hollywood. Going once. Going twice. Open line in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Mobile in Miami, hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir.
I get more and more sick of this town every day.
Yeah.
I got two things. Some constructive criticism for George. His show was good, but his voice is a little too bassy.
Bassy?
You have to turn the bassy.
Well, he was playing some Shirley Bassey music in there this morning. Maybe there's a connection.
Yeah, okay. So tell him to turn the treble up on.
It's just monotone. He's got to inflect a little bit.
Too monotone.
In fact, if he would sit on the same pincushion that Geldy sits on, maybe he could get his voice up a little bit. You could understand him better.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
I got to wait for you to go to the Dolphins game. You always say,
No, there's no chance.
But you'll take me to the game.
What?
Your buddy.
Well, what are you saying, sir? I can't hear you.
What?
Yeah, uh-huh. Open line and Dave, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you chickened out and hung up on me there.
Yeah, right. I chickened out. Sir, I gave you about 3 minutes, which was 2 minutes and 59 seconds too long. Have a great life, okay, if that's possible? I chickened out. You had nothing to say. You had absolutely, positively nothing to say. You didn't want to have a conversation. You wanted to make a speech. You don't know your ass from your elbow. And go find a life, okay? Go get a search party. Go find a life and maybe a penis and have a good time with it. Open line and Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. How do you like that, huh? Guy who had nothing to say, and I gave him an eternity there.
Boy, does he have a lot of chutzpah.
No material, but a lot of chutzpah. Like that. How about if we just give him the rest of the show? How would that be? To ramble on and mumble and say absolutely nothing about anything. What time is your show on, sir? I'll be sure to check that out. Not 9 minutes after noon at 560 WQAM.
Where do you find Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein? The first team, right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Neil, God. Hello, it's me, Cox on the radio, live at... Cox on the radio, live at Club St. Croix. Ladies, come on down. Let me... 21, you're going to party. Yeah. We're doing the Renaissance Silky Smooth leg competition. Where girls, you get to shave your old man's leg off his hair for $6,000 in laser hair treatment. It's Friday night. The place is packed. Come on down to Club St. Croix. I promise you, this may be the party of your life.
Let's just go get drunk. All right. So that was for real. I thought that was a put-on. I thought that was a, wow. Thank God that he's not on a bottle anymore. We have an open line and Dade, 567-0560. Well, even little kids have to be weaned off the bottle sooner or later.
When you give say, it takes away from the show.
Well, I wish I could buy that as an excuse for the audience. I got news for it. The last 3 weeks, most of the days, I haven't given anything away.
No, come on. You've given stuff away almost every day for the past 3 weeks.
No, wrong. Friday, we gave a bunch of stuff away. Friday.
Okay, well.
And the phones were smoking on Friday, and we had some good calls on Friday. But I listen, if I never...
Sometimes I really wish you wouldn't. I mean, when you get smoking, like today...
I'm smoking right now, Perdomo.
With the radio crap going on in your own place,
yeah.
I love to hear that. To me, that's great radio. But when people are calling just to, they give...
I agree with you. There's nothing more boring in the world. Can I suck around for... And of course, 99% of those people have got nothing to say. And as those shows wear on... They have less and less. They don't even make an attempt to try to say anything. They say like about 4 words, which they think is very cute. And, oh, by the way, can I suck around for fill in the blank, whatever we got? You're right. I agree with that.
Okay, well, the only other thing I have to say is this, that...
All right, let's make the rule as of now. We're not giving anything away for the rest of the year, okay?
Oh, great. Listen, that Family Fist Bleeping Association...
The Florida Family Fist Association,
exactly.
Yeah.
I think they had it wrong. They said you're not going to last a year. They probably left out the word whammy.
Oh, yeah, I think that might have been the TV show. You're right.
Yeah, they're trying to...
And they weren't talking about my show. They were talking about the station.
Exactly. They're trying to get you off whammy, which I don't think they have to try,
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a great life. Okay, no more giveaways. That guy's absolutely correct. You're right. I am so tired of these hunderlings that call and suck. Could I suck around? Go suck someplace else, okay? I got nothing for you other than an opportunity to call on here. This is the American effing way, baby. The First Amendment. Say whatever you want. Say whatever the hell you like. And if I don't like it, I'll hang up on you. But nevertheless, give it a shot. That guy calling back a second time, that bozo that I gave all of that time, that had nothing to say whatsoever, droning, oh, yeah, well, you have your family and you love your family, but you don't necessarily like them. Huh? What? Well, sometimes you disagree. Okay, I disagree with you, therefore I don't like you. Does that make sense to you? Uh-huh. There you go, I get it. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is a first-time caller. I listened to you over the Internet.
Right.
The question is...
Well, wait a minute. Why do you listen over the Internet if you're in Sunrise?
Because in my office I'm in, I can't pick up AM station.
Exactly. You can't even pick up the station outside.
Right. So, but I listen to you over the Internet, so it's interesting. Question was, a friend and I were having a discussion. He was telling me that the mayor of Miami, his brother, has been indicted or being indicted for bank fraud or something, embezzlement for like $3 million, and that the mayor...
His brother?
Yeah, the mayor's brother.
Joe Carroyo's brother?
Yes, and that the mayor is now having death threats against his life, and he has to have around-the-clock protection, for the death threats.
Have you heard anything about this? I haven't heard anything about that.
You haven't heard anything at all?
No. And even George, who, of course, has got his pulse on the finger of the Hispanic community in Miami. Even George is shaking his head.
They have these kind of problems.
Yeah.
Only in Miami.
Well, how about that thing with the, how about the threats against Channel 10 because they didn't renew the contracts of some Hispanic news anchors, and Anna Squeak gets on there and says, how can they, with a good conscience, not have a Hispanic news anchor as if it makes a difference where they come from?
Right. I mean, if they're not good...
That's the mentality in Dade County, sir. Where do you live?
I'm sorry?
You live in Sunrise, right?
Yeah, I live in Sunrise.
Well, congratulations.
Right. Thanks, Neil. I love your show, and like I said, I'm a first new listener to the show, and I love it.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Yeah, thank God. And like I said, Dade County, I feel sorry for the good people in Dade. There's a lot of good people in Dade County, especially the ones in Kendall that are helping us out with our Center 1 CDs. No, seriously, there's a lot of good people in Dade, but a lot of them are like lost. It's like being surrounded by a banana boat mentality.
We just got to report that it was the mayor of Coral Gables. No.
Oh, the mayor of Coral Gables. Oh, my God, Moral Gables. That's even worse. Moral Gables, where, of course, you can't have you can't have any chickens on your lawn or any ducks, and you can't do this and you can't do that. It's the no-can-do city, Moral Gables, where everybody's sticking their nose into your business. Can't have a pickup truck sitting in your driveway. Can't have a boat sitting in there. If one of those ducks, one of those pain-in-the-ass ugly ducks comes walking through your yard, they're probably going to give you 5 years in jail, even if you got nothing to do with it. I say, the duck. Here's a Hallandale. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
Neil, I'm calling because I was listening to you a few minutes ago about the gentleman who's going to Amsterdam that was talking about Citybird. I've flown Citybird this past summer.
Yeah, tell me all about it.
Okay, well, I go to Copenhagen every year, actually into Sweden. I play music over there every July.
What a great place, Scandinavia, man. That's where the real people are. You got it.
I love it. So we flew from Miami to Brussels, and it was just absolutely fantastic going over. It was a brand new airplane, and the service was great, and I really had a great time. But coming back, it was a little bit different. Maybe because the plane was crowded or something, but the staff on there, the stewards and the stewardesses were not very, well, I should say not very polite and definitely very lazy.
Huh.
One incident that happened was these two little kids were playing soccer up and down the aisle.
Oh, that's nice.
With a little ball. And I was trying to sleep.
On an airplane in the air?
In the airplane in the air, right. And as you know, it's a long flight, and I was trying to sleep. And what happened was I asked the steward to have them sit with their mother, and he says, well, I'm not their father. I'm not going to do anything about it. So I got it in my mind. I told the little kids, finally got it through their heads. I said, you see the curtain up front there? I says, go up and play up above that. There's a lot more room. So I sent them up to first class.
Yeah.
And needless to say, they were back with their mother in about 5 minutes.
In a heartbeat, yeah.
The steward didn't say anything more to me the whole trip. But other than that, I was real happy with it. It's
how was the food?
Way.
How was the food on the plane?
The food was okay. It was like any other airline, just about. It wasn't anything fantastic, but it was great. But anyway, the gentleman is going to transfer over to Sabina to go to. Sabina has a working agreement with Citybird. That's the only problem. Citybird doesn't have working agreements with very many airlines. I had to transfer to SAS. So I had to claim my luggage, both ways.
Oh, pain in the ass.
And go through customs a couple of times, with that, because you had to go out of the airport and then back upstairs into the airport again.
Yeah.
In Brussels.
So you had to fly Sabina from Brussels to Amsterdam?
Yeah, now if he goes to Sabina, he has a working agreement. He won't have to claim his luggage,
And
but if he goes KLM or something like that, then he'll have to.
How long is the flight from Brussels?
It's very quick.
Half an hour?
Amsterdam, probably less than an hour. Amsterdam's not that far from Brussels. In fact, I was sitting with a guy that was driving into Holland. I don't know if he was going to Amsterdam or not, but it's not very far at all. It's a very short flight.
So would you do it again? Because their fares are very cheap.
They are, right. And that's a good thing about it.
But the only hassle is, though, that they do not fly direct. They fly to Brussels, and no matter where you're going in Europe, you have to get a connection out of Brussels to wherever. Exactly.
At least that's the way it was in July. I'm sorry. But I was, it wasn't bad. If you put fragile and stuff on your baggage, they get it to you right away.
Right.
You don't have to wait for it. So I was overall very happy, except for the little incident with the kids, and going over, like I say, was fantastic.
So in other words, just shoot the
and
kids and have a great time.
Pardon me?
I say thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Thanks, Neil.
have a great day. Okay, we got, look at this, open line in Broward, all three in Dade again. I mean, 2 hours in, and that's right, we didn't start this till 11 o'clock because I was ranting and raving the first hour, which, by the way, I make no apologies for because everything needed to be said. And I stand exactly by what I say. This is the day, I've said this before, but again, I get, you wear yourself out. But today I've got, for some reason, enough energy to really mean it. This is the day I draw the line in the sand. Either they get their crap straightened out here, or we'll just go on strike for a couple of weeks. We'll both call in sick for a couple of weeks. No, that's right. And they can let Sam and Chris, the nephew, do the show here midday. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Let me say it again. As far as food on the airline, Alitalia, of course, is great. They have excellent food. Not what it used to be, but still very, very good. The best that I've ever had. And as far as a domestic airline, I want to say one more time, American Airlines, great. Oh! Who says I never say anything good? If you do something good by me, I'll come on here and rant and rave about how great you are for hours. Even in coach American Airlines, the food is pretty damn good. And in first class, it is out of this frickin' world. Excellent. So I can only imagine what it would be like flying American, transoceanic. That ought to be probably pretty damn good. 2 open lines in Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
I'd like to get on the list for tickets, please.
Yeah, huh?
I have a sort of update and sighting. I have a rim job sighting with 2 of the Panther players.
Yeah.
Last night in Coral Springs watching the football game. And Rimmer, the married, wonderful guy that he is.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, great. We have an open line in Broward in 2 a day. Hate to break the news to you, pal, but Rimmer called me while the game was on. He wasn't at any bar with Panther players, and he wasn't screwing around. Hate to break the bad news to you, pal. I talked to him twice during when the ball game was on, so sorry, you lose. 2 open lines in Dade County, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Another Ocean provocateur. Here's Boca. Hello. Boca.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Hey, listen, I wanted to find out. You sound pretty unhappy about your job.
What is it?
You sound real unhappy about working there.
Meaning what?
Meaning, why don't you quit?
Why don't I quit? And then what would I? Why would I quit? Why would I walk away from a job when I'm doing my job? Does that make sense to you, sir?
Well, you were complaining about it, so I figured maybe you might want to quit.
No, I'm not going to quit. Do you think I ought to quit?
Well, only a full-blown retard would stay there.
Yeah. And then why are you listening? Only a full-blown retard would call and lead listening to the show. Only a full-blown retard would stay there and take those 7 figures a year that you're supposed to be making there, right? That's right. How much you making, pal? Why don't you quit your job? I'm sure you're making the big bucks. How about...
Loan me $50.
Yeah, how about writing me a check for about $2-3 million, okay? Then I'll quit and you'll never have to be bothered with me again. Only a retard would stay there. No, only somebody with the tenacity that I've got would stay here and continue banging away and forcing them to come into the goddamn real world, dragging and kicking them, screaming, just like Greg Reed said that I would. I never realized it would take this long, but that's exactly what I'm going to have to do.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Open line in Dade. You see, I was saying this to George before during one of the breaks. This crap like this is old as knickers. When you have no material, when you have nothing to say, call in and take a shot at me. Be my guest. Give it your best shot. But all you're doing is, why not take out a billboard that says, I have no material, I have nothing to say about anything. So I'll call in and take a cheap shot at Neil because, God, it's a lot of fun. Great, be my guest. I still get paid twice a month, real big bucks. Somebody munged. This is a brand new one, too. How the hell did we already mung? Did you hear that? Somebody munged on this goddamn CD, and it was doing bizarre things. When are we going to get rid of these damn CDs already? These are already obsolete. Used to be cassettes, then it was CDs, and now we have this and that. Now, what's going to be next?
The mini disc. Or DVD.
DVD? How about DVDs? Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody munged onto this, so they were like hopping and hip-hop in there. There's a little hip-hop on the show. We have an open line in Broward 2 and Dade, 56705. By the way, Scott Schwartz, you don't want to work here, okay, Scott? Don't be calling George looking to come over here. We don't, we don't want to do that to you. You don't want to come and work in this joint. 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's a Lady Mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, ma'am?
Wanted to let you know Citybird was one of the best airlines I've ever flown on. We just came back 2 weeks ago.
Really?
It was fabulous. We flew business class to Brussels and then took Sabina to Italy, and it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. The food was very good, not as good as others, but good enough.
Well, what do you mean not as good as others? Like?
Well, like American first class is very good. I thought Air France's food was very good.
Right.
I thought Citybird, the fleet of planes at Citybird.
Put out.
Have a good trip.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, so did we get any calls yet about that Larry King show with the JonBenet Ramsey thing?
No.
Any calls about Mike Tyson, which is the #1 story that everybody's talking about?
No.
About how Vegas gave him his license back, and all those poor Schwarzers were in there yesterday, Magic Johnson, Muhammad Ali and his wife. Oh, please, I'm so sorry. And they gave him his license back because they want to make a lot of money, and Vegas is falling in hard times. Any calls about that?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm just checking. Any calls about Mary Kay Letourneau and that geeky-looking boyfriend who's over in Paris writing the book that knocked her up twice?
No.
Anything? Okay, just checking. Just want to make sure. 2 open lines a Dade, 5 in Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm like you in a couple ways. My wife says that I talk negatively about so many people, and I try to explain her to most people are assholes.
Right, that's true.
I give credit like you where it is deserved, but it's deserved so little by most people. The other thing is with my job, I do all this advanced work, and maybe I'm a perfectionist to a fault, but everybody around me doesn't do theirs, so it renders my job meaningless in what I've done in advanced preparation and so on. So it's just it's so frustrating.
It's very frustrating when you work for people who refuse to care, and they look at you like you're a troublemaker, and why don't you just go through the motions like we're doing? I can't do that. Right. I just don't have it in me. Not that I'm better than anybody else. That's just not my style. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I know. Now, relating to these sporting events here, I love it when the Hurricanes are doing bad, and not so much because I like the Dolphins to see them win, but when people don't go, because I was in that corner end zone spread out. I had about 80 chairs around me with nobody around me bothering me. I went to one game earlier, and the guy kicked my soda over, and they're falling over drunk. And,
right.
I used to go to the game. Yeah, exactly. And I hate even going to games now. I mean, I really do. I used to go to all sporting events, but I'd rather stay home and watch it if it's on.
I'll tell you another thing. If I would have used my tickets to go see the Dolphin game on Sunday, I wouldn't have been home to watch the end of the Bills game against Jacksonville, and I also wouldn't have seen the entire San Francisco Colts game, which turned out to there were 2 unbelievable games there. Who the hell wants to go out there and sit and watch a ponderous terminal effort, which I watched for 5 years? Boring.
Well, I'll tell you, it was terminal, but I bring my little TV, and I watch the end of the Jacksonville. Of course, I don't have satellite, but I watched the end of that game. I mean, it's a pleasure to, put the headphones on, listen to Mandich, and this Zimfer, the wrong guy he's calling. The wrong yard line. I mean, he doesn't even know what stadium. It's an embarrassment with him.
Yeah.
No, really, it is.
Well, like Hank says, this company specializes, and this goes back to Dean Jordan, who's now left the Hypingo organization. But he brings in these guys from out of town. They fly in, Christina Moore to do the Panther games. He's up there in Jersey all year long. They fly him in to do the Panther games. They fly in Zimfer from Philadelphia. I mean, Zimfer's not even a Florida guy. He knows nothing about what's going on here.
Right.
They fly him to wherever the Dolphins are playing every Sunday, and then he goes back and does his sports show on WIP in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but see, as you've said, they work cheap. And with you, the article that was written when you were first coming on, $1 million salary, but you bring $3 million in spots and so on. So, they got a gold mine with you, even if they paid you $2.5, $3 million.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, well, I know.
One year at that rate sounds good to me.
Yeah, you're bringing in the money more than what they're paying you. But these other guys, they weren't cheap, and that's what it's all about. The same with Whammy, cheap. And let's keep hiring cheap, incompetent assholes and see what kind of product we put out there, and then that's what they get. So I hope they fail miserably. I really do.
Good luck to us, pal. There's a guy, he's banging his head against the wall and frustrated about it. I'm not frustrated about it. I just let it out. I let the steam out like I did this morning. And God, am I happy about it. Oh. We have an open line at Dade, 5670560. It's the water Nazi. She's measuring it out, baby. In fact, I'll tell you what, all you salespeople down here on the third floor, from now on, I want you to take we have magic markers in here. And by the way, thanks to Sal Falcone from Soleil Water. What's the name of it? I got a mug of it. All you want. Every time we run low, Sal comes rushing in here with cases of Soleil water from the northern Italian Alps, which there ain't no southern Italian Alps, so I guess that's where it'll be the northern Italy. Great water. Magic markers, thanks to our friend Joe Rizzoli. Hey, let's plug everybody. Like I said, they're nice to us. We're nice to them. At Roth Office Supply. And we'll, take the magic marker and mark like a little line on every cup, and that's as far as you can know. So you can fill up your cup to the line, which will be very close to the bottom of the cup, by the way. Don't be expecting no lines about halfway up there. Forget that. That'll only be for the urine test when they do the random drug testing here very soon, which I think they ought to start with management. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who is Jeb Bush? I see these stickers on cars, and I heard of him in the political.
Let me ask you this. You ever hear the burning bush?
No.
Same difference. Okay, we have an open line at Dade, 1 in Broward, 567. Well, he's got a good question. Guy never held political office, never got elected dog catcher, got all these mysterious, shady financial dealings. All of a sudden, overnight, because his last name was Bush, became a millionaire before he became the age of 40. And then all of a sudden, overnight, he's the candidate for governor. He's your next governor, sir. Oh God. 567. Anybody see Larry King last night?
No.
Anybody see that John Bonet? We want to get a report. Inquiring minds want to know.
No.
Okay. I don't want to push too hard. I'm just trying to get a little information here so we can solve the goddamn murder. The Boulder police can't do it. Maybe we can do it right here on air and make that one guy happy. The guy that's looking for solutions. Like the president said, hey, Monica.
Squirt.
I got a solution for you. In the back there, but now it's way, way in the back. That had the schedules and the affairs and all the other good stuff. 2 open lines in Dade, 2 in Broward. Anybody out there with any interest?
No.
Anybody see the Larry King thing? Got an update on John Bonet?
No.
Anybody got anything about Mike Tyson?
No.
Anybody got anything about that Leaf Nashville game last night, watching the small dish?
No.
Anybody with anything
No.
about anything?
No.
Okay, just checking. 5670560 and pound 560 on a mobile 1 line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just calling to tell you what kind of a city we live in.
Yeah.
Did you see yesterday that the 2 students were stabbed and a taxi driver
At Miami
was shot?
High, yes. Uh-huh.
And another guy taking food to his son was, mowed down by an AK-47.
Yeah.
It's just pitiful. I mean, it's so depressing living here. I hate it. And I love you.
But other than that, have a great life. Okay. There's a guy that's a happy camper, right? Oh, but he's so negative. Well, I was just telling it the way it is. We have an open line at Broward all day. Okay, we managed almost 2 hours here today. That's a good start. You have to crawl before you walk. Isn't that what they say? So let's see what we got. We got a whole box to read, and I'm not giving any away. I don't want that one guy to panic who said no more giveaways. I think that's why they stopped calling. They heard no more giveaways. They said, okay, let's find another show. Oh, jeez. That was a nice thing, too, that trick-or-treat thing. It's too bad it...
Yeah, John Jarvis's, too.
Huh? Too bad it ain't never going to work again. Here's our last call, and then we'll clear the board. Lady Mobile in Lighthouse Point. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm all alone here, ma'am. All by you and me. That's it. That's the show.
Well, listen, I work for American Airlines, the best airline in the world.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't know about that, but your food is sure great.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you want good food, you got to go to a restaurant, because these other airlines that are offering low prices.
I mentioned San Diego. She said, okay, I'm leaving. I mean, I don't understand that. Well, what are you looking for? If you're looking for paradise, you're not going to find it in America.
I'm only joking about that. I know. I think it's a nice place to live, and you have problems everywhere. You just have to deal with them. But
what's a nice place to live here?
Where I live is beautiful. You have to make it beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I think it's nice, but I just feel like people should have higher standards, and I don't know what to do to change it.
Well, I'm doing the best I can here. I'm screaming and yelling and carrying on, but maybe I'm getting through to them. I don't know. We'll see in the next few days.
All right. Well, have a nice day.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Okay, 1 call left on the board, so here we go. Made it almost 2 hours today. Not bad. From 11 to 10 to 1. Mark that down. Give any stuff away, baby. You're really rolling. You got some great calls here. The Seminoles. How about those Gators? The Gators suck, huh? What's the Hurricanes that suck? Yeah, you. Let's hear about them.
I'll take you to a land of peace and a new tomorrow. Hey.
70560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. We got all of Dade County waiting on you. All three lines of Dade County are sitting there dead as a doornail. The overs and the unders on the games coming up this weekend. Come on, let's go. What's the spread on the Panther game against L.A. tomorrow night? Anybody got that? Playing goal for the Kings tomorrow night. Alfie is injured. Jamie Storr is injured. Anybody know? Anybody care?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Double in Delray Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Buenos tardes.
Hey, I just had lunch up in Stewart, and I had lunch at Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought
Stewart.
they were... Yeah, in Stewart.
Well, yeah, Stewart's not South Florida exactly.
I guess not.
Once you get to Orlando and...
I was just thinking about it. That's the first one I've seen. Aren't they on the West Coast also?
Yo, big time. Very big in Tampa.
Okay,
that's probably one of the... other than Burns Steakhouse and Steak and Shake, there's not too much else good in Tampa. Especially the people.
Neil, I got the boss handing out literature mandating that we read up on some L. Ron Hubbard material. What's your thoughts on this guy?
Well, what do you mean mandating that you read up on that? What is that? How can you do that?
He's handing around, and I was even wondering about the legality of it. But
of course it's not legal. It's a religious thing. Scientology is a religion. It's a cult. He can't demand that you read up on it. What is it?
No, that's I was just hoping you could verify that.
Well, get yourself a lawyer and sue his ass, okay? And good luck to you in your new job. We have an open line at Broward, 5670. At least he had lunch at Steak and Shake. That's good. Shake this. Here's a lady mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Neil. I don't know if you're aware that they're putting up a fence around the shops at Sawgrass to keep the people from parking in there.
Isn't that beautiful? Just to make sure that you don't have an easy, convenient place and can avoid giving away your money, we're putting up fences just to keep the people out.
Exactly.
Isn't that great?
I thought you would enjoy that one.
Oh, my God. Thanks for the good news.
You got it.
I'm getting a bicycle, okay? I had a bicycle. I could be over there in no time. I don't know where. And guess what? Remember the lady called in and said that she forced them to put in the bike rack and threatened that she would sick me on them, and they said, okay, don't do that. Yeah, they actually have bike racks over there. We have an open line in Broward, 567. Now, let me ask you something. Have we ever had that before where every line on the board is a mobile? Have we ever had that in history?
Actually, sure.
Why is that? Because they can't hear us inside of a building? Maybe that's part of the problem we got here. I know you can't hear the station on 441. You can't hear it inside any business. Any place that's got a fluorescent light within 5 miles, you can't hear us. Oh, then we know that. Boy, we got a major problem. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
I'm sure glad they pay you to do this because my blood pressure would be like 1,000,000 over 10,000.
I want to tell you, I went home yesterday. My blood pressure was 155 over 98. That's the highest, because I take medication for it, you know. That's the highest my blood pressure has been in years. And I kind of like lay down and I calmed myself down and I relaxed. And I thought to myself, what am I killing myself for these bunch of assholes? The audience that doesn't want to talk to me and a bunch of people I work for who have no interest in doing anything professionally. And I got my blood sugar down to 100. My blood pressure down to 110 over 77. And it's been okay ever since.
Well,
I thought yesterday during the show I was going to have a stroke in the middle of that show yesterday, and I'm going to kill myself for these bastards, these know-nothing, do-nothing bastards who insist on doing everything the half-assed way. No way.
I tell you, I'm 40 years old. I've lived in South Florida now for 39 years. It was the only place I've ever really known as far as quality of life, as far as living here. And just within the last 5 years, my job's required me to travel quite a bit, not internationally, but just around the country. And I tell you, we don't realize what a toilet we're absolutely living in down here in South Florida.
Until you go to a real place.
Until you go somewhere else.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. Every time I get off the plane and you get into that, what the other thing? I can't never think of the name of that thing. You know, the skyway, the walkway, the whatever they call that thing.
Skywalk.
Skywalk off the plane. You're coming into the into the terminal, and that heat and humidity hits you in the face, no matter where you're coming from, and you feel like, oh, Jesus.
You just want to run around and get right back on the plane.
Right, that's right. Take me anywhere, but I can't possibly be back here.
I tell you, most of the time my travels take me to Atlanta. And people can conceive and say what they want about Georgia being backwater and Yahoo and everything else.
It is, yeah.
But at least the people there are friendly, and you can go there and have a nice time. And as a city, they seem to have their act together.
When you go there, I mean, the biggest problem is maybe they pick their nose, and here they pick your pocket and then shoot your brains out.
Right, but I tell you, Miami, especially Miami, tries to consider itself a world-class city.
Every time I hear that, I want to pee in my pants. For example, you travel the world, you go to any city, any real world-class city, and what do they have all over the city? They have currency exchange because there are tourists coming from all big cities, okay? Is there any currency exchange in this town other than either at the airport, which is that Thomas Crook, which they give you ridiculous rates, or there's one at the Sawgrass, which also the rates aren't all that great there, and you wind up getting ripped off. Has anybody ever seen a currency exchange joint in Miami? It's a joke.
Well, answer me this. How come the world-class city of Miami and its world-class airport can't even have those little carts to wheel your luggage out on?
Right, exactly. There you go.
Okay, I mean, world-class. Maybe third world, but that's about it.
With you, unlucky.
Yeah.
Have a great one, Neil.
Thanks for the reality check. That's right.
Best show ever in the history of mankind.
I would agree with that.
Unbelievable. Had all the good ones. All right, see you later.
Okay, one call left, and we'll better get the Temptation CD back in there. I thought we were done playing music today, but I better get that back in there just one time because these people are kind of like run out of gas. Better get that baby back in there. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Anybody in this audience know who Mike Tyson is?
No.
Anybody go to Bellagio and... Anybody seen JonBenét's Body lately? Anybody got any good masking tape? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Anybody got Lawrence Phillips' phone number? Anybody got Lawrence Taylor's phone number? How come most athletes named Lawrence turn out to be scumbags? What is that? Even Steve Lawrence is getting pissed off about it. Here's a payphone in Sunrise. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
All right, Neil, I'm just saying, man, your show is great today. And on the marijuana issue, well, I used to go out with my buddies to all one up every once in a while. I've never been in the... I'm in the best shape of my life. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they don't legalize it. They're a bunch of idiots.
Because it's America, baby.
That's right.
It's the American effing way.
That's right. Neil, in closing?
Yes?
Jason Wilson, you're a hammer-swinging douchebag.
Okay, two open lines in Dade, 2 in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Any of those old Camillus House people call in today?
No.
Huh? Any reports on the Center One thing?
No.
Right. In other words, basically what they're saying, if you want money for any other cause, especially something that we're very suspect out of because it may have something to do with fags, even though it really doesn't, if you want some money from us,
I will not give it to you.
That's what they're saying. All those people, I used to whip those checks in the mail every day. I'd walk into my room there with a whole fistful of mail, opening up envelopes. In fact, some days there would be so many I'd have to take them home after the show and just sit there all afternoon opening up envelopes, taking out checks, and reading the notes. Do we have one penny that came in the mail here for Center One yet?
No.
Do we have one donation from anybody that works at WQAM, even the janitor, anybody that ever associated with this place?
No.
Thank you. Open line in Broward, all 3 in Dade are waiting for you. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line.